So my name is Keisha and this is Teagan, my twin sister. We are the co-founders of Live Life Unfiltered, which is a social media movement dedicated to educating young women about how social media is affecting our mental health. In university, we both felt a lot of pressure to meet society's expectations of who we should be and to kind of be a part of the culture of social media, which on average is about showing your best self and impressing people. And eventually we just realized that this was putting a lot of pressure on ourselves and it wasn't positive for our mental health. And then we got to the point where we realized it wasn't just Teagan and I, but almost all of our friends were going through the exact same thing. We're all in this environment of thinking that we need to be a certain type of individual. And so that's when we decided that we wanted to do something about it.
I remember Keisha and I are both studying abroad separately, and I was in England, she was in Ireland, and one time we met up and we were having a conversation about social media and how we were posting photos that made it look like we were having this awesome time studying abroad, which we were, but there's definitely low points in any experience. And we kind of realized how we were posting photos to make it look like we were having a lot more fun than we were. And it was a really big kind of shift in our perspective in that moment. And I think a great opportunity for us to see just how much social media was influencing the way that we kind of lived our lives.
I think when we stumbled upon like this realization that social media was really affecting us, that's when we had the idea of starting really just a project. We were just interested in starting a project at first about how social media is affecting young women. It was going to be like a Humans of New York. That was kind of the idea. Like, let's create a Humans of New York, but for women and their experiences with social media and specifically Instagram.
For us, the real first challenge was kind of figuring out how do we reach our audience in a way that best gets our message across. And ironically, we chose to go through social media, go through Instagram, because our age demographic specifically is always on social media, and why not get right to the source? So we started researching just about everything about Instagram, about body image. We weren't experts ourselves, but we wanted to become experts. We wanted to really know our audience and really know the platform itself. So months of research, a lot of knocking on people's doors, talking to experts in the field of psychology, social media, photography. Then we went right to the source and started talking with women our age about social media.
Yeah, so we created one night we invited 6 of our friends over and we told them there's a surprise. And we kind of pounced on them with this idea that we had, and we probably bombarded them a little bit with so much passion, but we got their input and we were able to use that to better align what we wanted to do with other people our age and how they would view it and just do a good job with our messaging.
That night was really important because not only did we get support from our friends and what we were doing, but we were able to see that these issues and kind of experiences that Keisha and I had were not just ours, and they are something that young women everywhere do experience. And especially seeing these people who we grew up with and we see on social media and really admire also have some of the same struggles was really important for our own journey, and knowing that this is a real thing, this is a real issue. Our original mission with Live Life Unfiltered was to create an Instagram page that other young women could follow and really see photos and captions that they relate to. So how we conveyed this was by taking photos of young women. We'd often go up to complete strangers and just say, hey, do you want to hear about Live Life Unfiltered? And then we'd explain it to them and try and get them to take part in our photo booth and campaign. We were able to gather quotes that were honest, vulnerable, and real, and that other women could relate to. We then took an unfiltered photo, attached it to their caption, and we post them on our Instagram page.
The next step of how Live Life Unfiltered kind of transformed over time is we ran the Ishidas campaign. So it started really small, and we just did it actually with our friends from high school and our friends from university. And the idea was to post an unfiltered photo on social media, and then in your caption to be really real and vulnerable, and then to tag 2 of your friends to also do the same.
We were just trying to get our friends. I mean, standing up to your peers is, again, one of the most difficult, challenging things ever. It's way tougher to be vulnerable and open to people who are close to you than it is to be with a stranger. And getting our friends, getting people we kind of knew, acquaintances, to take part in the challenge, I found personally really difficult. And then the next year, getting celebrities to take part in it. We sent thousands of emails to celebrities and influencers trying to get them to even just get a reply, a maybe, would be fantastic. And we finally got our very first influencer. We were ecstatic. Like, it was amazing when we got that first influencer, and then the ball just started to roll. We finally started to see results from our tireless emails.
We were able to onboard over 100 women in 2019, and because they tagged 2 people, it did become quite successful, and so it did reach quite a lot of people.
It reached over 100 million people on Instagram, and 60 different countries had participants.
We had the awesome privilege of having some really cool women from around the world join the Ishidas campaign, and these were women that we didn't have any connections with, but who connected on some level to the message and probably the issue that the Ishidas campaign was solving. And so some of the women that came forward and did it was Alessia Cara, Sophie Trudeau, a lot of the people from Dance Moms, The Bachelorette, there's Olympians, there's some really inspirational group of women that came together.
So many, we honestly can't pay tribute to all of them just because there were so many amazing women, some Miss Universe, and it was just really, like Keisha said, really amazing to see that these women who many of us look up to and follow on social media relate to this message, and also have days where they don't feel confident in their bodies, have days where they struggle with their mental health, and also compare themselves to other people on social media.
Throughout this entire process, we have been very open with the journey and what our next steps are. We've always just been kind of figuring it out as we go, because we don't have all the answers. But we do know that we hope that this message continues to resonate with young people, and it reaches more ears, and so that they can understand just how much better your life can be if you use social media in a way that positively benefits you. Because you don't have to be bombarded by social media. It's really up to you, and we would love for people to hear that and understand it and really improve their lives.
Ultimately, our goal and mission with Live Life Unfiltered is to help people recognize the way we filter ourselves in our everyday lives. So whether it's the way we filter ourselves at work, with our families and our relationships, you don't have to be a young woman to be struggling with your body or the way you represent yourself to the world. We filter our lives in every aspect of who we are, and I think this message can be taken in so many different levels across various parts of our lives.
We've definitely been impacted by Live Life Unfiltered, and just the experience of also getting to have so many more conversations about these issues. So we started this as girls that were struggling with their body image, right? Like we weren't professionals doing it. We were very much our target audience, and so as a result, we were fighting our own battles during this process. The advice that we would give to someone who wants to go and do something for other people is to just do it. There's nothing stopping you, and I think probably the thing that is going to be the biggest obstacle that you face is yourself. It's your own brain. It's the voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do it. And so our advice would be to just kind of dig in and do it. Put your head down and keep going. So stop thinking, stop doubting yourself, just go do it.
Ask for help. This movement would have been absolutely nothing without the help of others. There was a whole team of young women, advisors, professors, people who helped us really get this movement off the ground and running. Asking for help is so important because you're not going to know all the answers, you're not going to have the resources, and people have knowledge and resources that they're willing and wanting to give to you. You just have to ask for it.
Get your team of people to help you out and have fun while you're doing it.